All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a really fun and interesting adventure ahead of us today. I'm planning to get down to the Mississippi River in a very remote spot. It's actually a watercraft campsite. It looks incredible. Normally, you can really only get there from the water, but I saw that there are some very small forest trails that get you within about 100 yards of the campsite. And so I figured if there was any time to be able to do that, it'd be right now with all this snow and the snowmobile. So let me show you the map here quick. We're starting off right up here. I've actually drawn out our route on these trails, but essentially we're going to be making our way through the heart of the Chippewa National Forest, connecting to some smaller trails that go right down here to the side of the river. Now, the trails don't get all the way to the campsite. From what I can tell, it's about 100 yards away. So we're gonna have to, eventually hike through probably some thick forest to get there. But that's gonna be the fun of it. I want to check out the map real quick, make sure we're still on target. Okay, so we're right about in the middle of the route. It's down here where we're gonna get off onto the smaller trail, so not too much further to go. All right, well, let's keep at it. I think this is it. I definitely want to make sure before I haul in all my gear. So let's go scout it out. Very fortunate to have made it here so easily. A lot of times these back trails are really overgrown and not maintained very well.
The camp here is incredible. It's set up on a small hill overlooking just a gorgeous section of the river and has everything that you really need. using a brand new hot tent and wood stove on this trip, and before I set anything up, I want to prepare the ground and try to clear as much snow as possible to minimize any standing water that could appear underneath the tent later.
So believe it or not, there's a chance of freezing rain this afternoon. And from the looks of things with the wind and the clouds, it seems like some weather might be popping up. Either way, I want to get this tent set up now.
I got this tent for situations like this where I'm unable to bring even my tiniest little cabin on wheels or skis. Today is my first time using it, and my hope is to gain some insight as to whether or not it's going to be something I want to use more in the future. My new stove here is also a much lighter setup than what I've been bringing out lately. And so I'm really looking forward to see how the tent and stove work together tonight once the temperature drops.
All right, well, we got camp all set up, and I got to say, I am pretty excited about this tent. I think it's going to allow all of us to go to some cool new places, and it seems like it's going to be really, really comfy and cozy in there. So let's take a quick walk around, and I'll show you kind of what it's about. So essentially, this is a bushcrafter's tent. It's a very minimalistic design. You only have 2 poles. You can use the ones that come with it, or you could use your trekking poles to cut down on weight. It's a one-room design, but you do have this awesome vestibule over here, which is where the wood stove lives, and you can also put gear in there, especially if you're not using the stove. It's a great space to keep your stuff out of the rain. So this is a cool feature right here. This flap will actually unzip and open up, essentially creating an awning and a huge window into your surroundings. Unfortunately, it's just too cold for that, especially with the wood stove. I want to bottle in as much heat as possible, so I'm going to leave that shut. So as you can see, it's a real cozy little space. I've got my cot set up on one side and I've got my chair on the other, and I'm gonna spend a lot of time sitting in that chair, actually probably turned the other way, looking at the fire tonight. Cannot wait.
Before I head out and gather some firewood for the night, I wanted to spend some time down by the river.
Well, this is what it's all about right here. It's just so incredibly beautiful. And on top of all of it, having sunshine on my face and watching the snow and ice melt away. It's just giving me that boost of energy and excitement for what's to come this summer. It's time for me to go out and gather some firewood, not just to stay warm tonight, but to be able to cook my food on the wood stove as well. Unfortunately, a lot of the trees that I'm seeing around here are very wet due to the snow that we've gotten this season. And at the time of filming this, I totally forgot about the big tree that was down over by the snowmobile. That one probably would have been perfect.
I'm going to burn up some of the extra brush and enjoy a little campfire by the river here before the sun finally sets for the night.
Just a beautiful evening out here. It got nice and warm today. I want to say the high was easily in the low 40s Fahrenheit. That's definitely starting to cool off a bit. Expecting it to drop to probably 27, 28 degrees maybe. But honestly, that's not bad. After the winter we've had, I'll take it. Well, the fire started up without a problem, and it is toasty warm in here. I am really impressed with how well this stove is heating this space. I mean, it's almost too hot. Might have to tamp down the stove a little bit, but for now, I think it's great because I'm gonna do some cooking and I want it to be as hot as possible. Dear God, thank you for getting me here safe and sound. Thank you for a productive day. Bless this food and help me to stay safe tonight. Amen. Oh my gosh, this steak and green beans looks and smells incredible. I am so excited to dig in. This is kind of a treat. I haven't made a steak out here in a very long time. It's really good. Just some simple butter with salt and pepper. That's all it needed. Tastes amazing. All right, let's give the green beans a try. Those are good too. They're sauteed just perfectly. I love using cast iron. It always makes the food taste better. And for dessert, I've got some chocolate chip cookies that Rye made. They're a little cold, you know, from being in almost freezing temperatures all day, but still incredibly tasty. Nighttime is easily my favorite part of the day when I'm out here. I not only get to rest and, you know, it's very peaceful. I love sitting by the fire like this. But it's also when I feel the most present in the moment. Because once that sun goes down, you know, the unknowns become much louder. Especially when you're in a tent like this, you know, you can hear every sound that's going on out there. And right now, it's a bunch of trumpeter swans. All right, everybody, it is time to hit the hay. The fire is purring away over there. It's going to be so nice to drift off to that, but I'm very, very tired, so I'm looking forward to getting some shut-eye. I will see you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning, everybody. It feels incredible in here. Fire is doing its job, and I've got some hot coffee, which Man, really hits the spot on mornings like this. I'm just gonna enjoy this coffee for a little bit, wait for first light, and then probably head down to the river one last time before packing out of here. I definitely want to go check on the snowmobile and trail as well. We lost a lot of snow yesterday, but thankfully in the forest, the snow tends to stick around because it doesn't get as much sunlight, so we should be okay, but I want to go take a look before we get too far in the process of tearing down. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. The clouds are pink and purple, and they're reflecting in the river. It's just gorgeous. This spot is truly a gem, and it's pretty cool that we got to experience it in the late winter, early spring like this. I can already tell there's more than enough snow still in the woods here, so shouldn't have any trouble getting back to the truck. All right, we should be good to go. Let's go pack out. Well, I've got all the gear packed up, camp is cleaned out, and the sled is ready to rock and roll. And I was even able to leave a very nice stash of firewood for paddlers who come through here this summer. But alas, it's time to get to the trail so we can make our way back to the truck. To do it for this one, you guys. Thank you as always for coming along. It was so cool getting out into the backcountry of the Chippewa National Forest and being able to camp out right on the Mississippi River, especially when it's the size of a creek. That is just so incredible, and I certainly had a great time doing it. As always, I want to give a special thank you to our patrons who generously donate to this channel, but again, to all of you who watch and come back every single week. You're all the reason I get to do this on a weekly basis, and I'm super grateful for that. But as always, it's time for me to get the gear loaded up so I can get home and see the girls. We'll see you next week. God bless.